Your breakup was brutal. 1 minute, they were everything. Late night calls, whispered promises of forever, and then nothing. No fight, no explanation, just gone. You reached out desperate for a sign that it wasn't all in your head, that they did care, that you weren't just another ghost in their past. But every message felt like screaming into the void, just left unread. And then one day you check, blocked everywhere, like you never even existed. The pain, unbearable, the kind that cracks you open from the inside. You stopped sleeping, stopped eating, spent too many nights staring at your phone, rereading old messages, convincing yourself that maybe, just maybe, they'd come back, but they never did. It took months to claw your way out of that hell, to stop sending long paragraphs at 2 a.m. to a number that no longer exists, to rebuild yourself from the wreckage of what they left behind. And finally, you did it. You stopped reaching out. You stopped hoping and you let go. And for the first time in forever, life feels good again. You're out with someone new, someone who makes you laugh. You take a picture of your hand in theirs, post it with a Taylor Swift song in the background, and that's when you see it. Your ex has followed you back. You check your story views, and their name is right there. No message, no I miss you, can we talk? Just lurking, watching. And just when you thought you were free, it all comes crashing back. Why? Why now? I'm Jordan Travers. I'm a licensed psychotherapist, and today I'm answering why your ex is orbiting you online and what you can do about it. All those nights you cried yourself to sleep, the days you couldn't even get out of bed, the pain you swore you'd never feel again. Was it all for nothing? You tell yourself, it doesn't affect me. Let them watch. Let them see what they lost. Let them regret it. But is it really okay? Let's break it down. Because if they cared, they'd say something, right? If they wanted to move on, they'd disappear completely, right? Well, not exactly. Here's what's really going on. It's because they're not missing you, they're missing the attention. At first, it feels personal, like maybe they regret it, like maybe they've realized they made a huge mistake. But here's the truth. Orbiting is not about you. It's about them. According to research, nostalgia can be addictive. The brain craves what it used to have, and seeing an ex online triggers old feelings. Not because they want you back, but because it makes them feel something. That's why they keep checking your stories. It's like a person who keeps looking at old love letters, but never writes a new one. They're reminiscing, not rebuilding. They're keeping the door open without ever having to walk through it. At first, it feels deliberate, like they're trying to get your attention, waiting for you to make the first move. And maybe that's true. I once had a client who went through this exact thing. She had finally moved on from her ex after months of heartbreak. Then one day, out of nowhere, he was back, watching her stories, liking her posts. No message, no I miss you, just watching. At first, she told herself, maybe he's changed, maybe he regrets it. But as time passed, she realized something. He never actually said anything. He was keeping the door open without stepping through it. This is breadcrumbing. It's when someone drops tiny hints of their presence, just enough to make sure that they still exist in your mind without actually making an effort to reconnect. It's a way of saying, hey, don't forget about me. Hey, I might come back. But notice they never actually do. Because if they truly wanted to be in your life, they wouldn't be leaving breadcrumbs. They'd be knocking on the door. They want to know you still care. And here's where it gets even more frustrating. Sometimes orbiters don't want you back. They just want to know that they could have you back if they tried. Another client of mine experienced this after a painful on-again, off-again relationship. Her ex ghosted her twice. Each time she went through the painful cycle of wondering what went wrong, blaming herself and trying to move on. Then just as she started to feel okay again, there he was, back in her notifications, a like here, a comment there, never a real conversation. She later told me it felt like he was testing to see if he still had a hold on me. And for a while he did. This behavior feeds the ego. Seeing their name in your story views, watching you hesitate before posting, wondering if they'll see it, it gives them a sense of control. It reassures them. I still matter to them. They're still thinking about me. But while orbiting feeds their ego, it also traps you in a loop of false hope. This is where confirmation bias comes in. Your brain is looking for proof that aligns with what you want to be true, while ignoring evidence that contradicts it. Your brain wants to believe this means something. So when an ex watches your stories, you might think, maybe they regret it. Maybe they realized what they lost. But people tend to interpret digital engagement as emotional investment, even when it's just passive, meaningless interaction. That's why orbiting hurts, because it tricks you into thinking that they still care. They don't. They just fear being forgotten. So what should you do? Well, if your ex is orbiting you after ghosting you, you need to remember these 3 things. Number 1, lurking is easy. Love isn't. A like, a view, that takes 0 effort. They don't have to show up, have difficult conversations, or take responsibility for what they did. They don't have to acknowledge the pain they caused, the questions they left unanswered, or the time you spent trying to heal from the void they created. Lurking is passive. Love is intentional. Number 2, they lost the privilege of access to you. When someone leaves your life by choice, they forfeit the right to access you on their terms. Your social media, your photos, your milestones, those are privileges, not entitlements. If seeing their name pop up on your notifications triggers pain, confusion, or old wounds, block them. Not out of pettiness, out of self-respect. Psychologists emphasize the importance of setting emotional boundaries, deciding who has access to your energy, your emotions, and your peace of mind. Number 3, don't mistake their curiosity for care. This is where most people get stuck. The moment you see their name in your story views, your mind starts spinning. Maybe they miss me. Maybe they regret it. Maybe they've realized they've made a huge mistake. But curiosity isn't the same as care. Care is checking in and apologizing. Care is showing up when it matters. Care is consistent action and not passive online surveillance. If they truly wanted you, they wouldn't just be watching from a distance. They'd be making an effort to rebuild what they lost. And if they're not, then their presence in your story views means absolutely nothing. The best response is no response. Because the moment you stop caring if they're watching, you win. And always remember, you don't owe them or anyone access to your life just because they decided to orbit you. You don't have to wonder what their presence means, overanalyze every notification, or wait for them to make the next move. You're not a backup plan or an unfinished chapter. You are the main character. So if they're still watching you, let them, because they're stuck in the past. And you're moving forward. And if you're ready to take back your power, hit like and subscribe for more insights on relationships, self-growth, and emotional healing. I'm Jordan Travers. I'm the clinical director at Awake Therapy, and I'll see you next time. Bye.